If you're over 60, you've probably been told countless times that eating fish is good for your heart. Omega-3s, lean protein, low fat, it all sounds perfect, right? But here's the shocking truth. Not all fish are created equal. Some of the most popular ones on American dinner tables can quietly build up toxic levels of mercury in your blood, raising your risk of stroke and heart rhythm problems without you even knowing it. Protecting your heart doesn't mean giving up seafood entirely. You just need to know which kinds of fish to stay away from, and which ones can still help you stay strong and independent for years to come. Today, we'll go through the 4 types of fish that older adults should avoid if they want to prevent a sudden stroke. And as you listen, think about the small changes you can make right now, because your next meal could be what keeps your heart beating steadily tomorrow. Number 1. Albacore tuna. The hidden danger in a healthy-looking can. Canned albacore tuna, also known as white tuna, is the second most popular canned fish after salmon in the US. It's convenient, affordable, and feels like a smart, healthy choice. But here's what most people don't know. It contains about 0.35 parts per million of mercury, which is 3 to 4 times more than light tuna. Mercury, especially in the form called methylmercury, builds up in your bloodstream and attaches to the inner walls of your arteries. Over time, it damages the lining that keeps blood flowing smoothly, making the arteries stiff and less flexible. That stiffness raises your blood pressure, and for an older heart, that's like turning up the pressure on a worn-out hose. A study in JAMA Cardiology tracked over 17,000 Americans aged 65 and older for 12 years. Those with higher mercury levels, mostly from eating albacore tuna more than twice a week, had a 38% higher risk of developing atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat that can trigger blood clots and stroke. It's not that tuna itself is bad, it's that too much of the wrong kind quietly poisons the very system you're trying to protect. The safer approach? Choose light tuna or skipjack tuna instead. They have far less mercury, but still offer the omega-3 benefits you're looking for. Stick to no more than 1 small can, about 5 ounces, of albacore per week. That simple change can keep your heart rhythm steady and your arteries younger than your age. Number 2. Swordfish. The special occasion meal that hits your heart like a hammer. Maybe you've ordered swordfish at a restaurant or bought it frozen for a nice weekend dinner. It's rich, meaty, and feels indulgent. But the truth is, swordfish contains one of the highest mercury levels of any commercial fish, almost 1 part per million. That's more than double what the FDA considers safe, especially for seniors. Mercury in swordfish damages your heart's muscle cells directly through a chemical chain reaction that produces something called peroxynitrite. Think of it as rust forming inside your heart cells. Over time, it thickens the artery walls, especially the carotid arteries that supply blood to your brain, a warning sign of early stroke risk. Johns Hopkins researchers once studied men who had survived a heart attack. Those with higher mercury levels, mainly from eating swordfish, had over twice the risk of dying from heart-related causes compared to those with lower levels. So even if swordfish only shows up on your plate once or twice a month, care's not a harmless treat. Each bite quietly stacks the odds against your arteries. If you love that firm, meaty texture, try grilled salmon or trout instead. They'll give you the satisfaction without the silent harm. Number 3. King mackerel. The southern favorite that raises blood pressure the wrong way. If you live along the Gulf Coast or in Florida, chances are you've enjoyed king mackerel at least once. It's a staple in many local dishes. But for older adults, this fish can be a ticking time bomb. King mackerel carries about 0.73 parts per million of mercury, enough to trigger the body's stress system, the renin-angiotensin pathway, which increases systolic blood pressure. The higher your pressure, the harder your heart has to pump, and the more likely plaque in your arteries will rupture and cause a stroke. One large study from Korea followed nearly 6,000 adults over 60 and found that those with mercury levels above 8 micrograms per liter had a 31% higher risk of developing new hypertension. That's not something you can feel immediately, but it's what silently wears your heart down. Many older adults tell me, "But I only eat fish twice a week." That's true, but if both servings are from high mercury fish, it's enough to push your blood pressure up without you realizing it. Swap king mackerel for sardines, anchovies, or salmon instead. They're lower in mercury, rich in omega-3s, and much gentler on your circulation. Number 4. Shark. The exotic option that's anything but heart-friendly. Most Americans don't eat shark every day, but it still appears in certain restaurants, especially in Asian-style menus or as shark steaks. And while it sounds adventurous, it's one of the worst choices for heart health. Shark meat contains nearly 1 part per million of mercury, a level that doesn't just stiffen arteries, but directly affects the electrical system of your heart. It blocks potassium channels responsible for controlling your heartbeat, increasing the risk of dangerous arrhythmias and even sudden cardiac death, especially in people with pre-existing heart conditions. A Harvard review found that eating shark even once a month could raise the risk of hemorrhagic stroke in people over 70 by more than 40%. Worse, it can cancel out almost 70% of the heart protective benefits you'd normally get from omega-3s. So if you ever see shark fin soup or shark steak on a menu, it's best to say no. Your heart will thank you later. Now, before we move on, take a second to think. How many of these fish have found their way into your meals recently? You might not even realize how often you've chosen them. If you're still watching, give this video a quick like and share your experience in the comments. Have you ever noticed changes in your blood pressure or heart rhythm after eating seafood regularly? Your story might help someone else stay safe too. Eating fish isn't the problem. The problem is choosing the wrong kind too often. Mercury is a toxin that doesn't just leave your body quickly. It builds up over time. For older adults, whose metabolism and detox systems slow down with age, that accumulation happens faster and lasts longer. You can fix it. You can still enjoy seafood and protect your heart if you pick the right fish. The FDA and the American Heart Association both recommend avoiding swordfish, king mackerel, and shark entirely and limiting albacore tuna to just once a week. Focus on fish with low mercury and high omega-3 content, like salmon, sardines, anchovies, or light tuna. Studies show that eating 2 servings of low-mercury fish per week can lower your risk of dying from heart disease by up to 36%. That's the kind of nutrition that works for you, not against you. So let's answer a few common concerns people have at this point. It's never too late to protect your heart. You don't have to make dramatic changes, start an intense workout, or follow a strict diet plan. You just need to make smarter choices, starting with what's on your plate. Replace high-mercury fish with safer, nourishing options. Add more color to your meals and keep your heart in rhythm, one forkful at a time. So here's your challenge for this week. Make one small change. Swap that albacore tuna sandwich for light tuna or salmon. Share your progress in the comments so others can learn from you. Because every healthy choice you make today is an investment in more mornings, more laughter, and more time with the people you love. This video is for informational and educational purposes only. All of our content has been reviewed by experts, but always consult your doctor before making any changes to your diet, especially if you have chronic conditions or are taking medication. See you in my next video.